Hello, hello, friends. How are you today? I know Jamie's here. She was here 10 minutes early today. But welcome in. Sorry, I'm just a smidge late. I was changing the title of, or like the description box for this live to include that this was a mail call. And I forgot to do that. I also need to go back and add to my last live stream. I did um, Ashley from CNC Farm. She had sent me multitasking, guys. She had sent me, I had won on one of her lives, and she had sent me my prize, and I did that. And I did not tag her. Shame on me. I have to do that. I don't know why I can't tag her. Yeah, so I have, there it is. All right, so I went and fixed last week's too. All right. So for this one, hey, Rebecca. Thanks so much for coming in. Yes, I see you. Thank you so much. And I just tagged you in the description so you would know that I'm doing your mail call as well. Hey, Danielle, what's going on? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Real quickly, though, Danielle, I wanted to let you know. And hey, Janet, I see you. Thank you so much for coming in. But in case you got to run out, I wanted to tell you that I totally fudged up. What was it, like 2 lives ago or something like that? I was talking to you, and I was in my head thinking that I was talking to Sarah from Homestead Hustle, and she's like big on baking bread and sourdough and things like that. But I get you guys confused all the time because you both have green icons. And your names are kind of similar. They both, start with Homestead. And so I was thinking I was talking to Sarah when I'm really talking to you, Danielle. And later I thought about it and I was like, oh my God, I was talking to Danielle, not to Sarah. Hey, Dan, thank you so much for coming in. So sorry about that. And it's funny because I had just watched a video on, you were doing something about like restocking your pantry, and I had just watched a video on it, and then I'd also been fawning over Sarah's bread, and it was just like stuck in my head, apparently. But real quick, let me just do these mail calls real fast. So my first one, I might as well do Rebecca's since she's here. Rebecca sent me this big, ginormous package, and I was so excited to get this, you guys. She is just the sweetest woman in the world and the hardest working. Her hands are always working, I'm pretty sure. So Rebecca from Touched by Yarn, if you guys don't know, she knits. Is that correct? I don't know if I have the terminology correct, but I think this is knitting, I believe. But she made my whole family hats. But look how cool these are. Hey, Destiny, welcome in. Oh, no worries. What's going on, Destiny? So yeah, she made me this one, and then this one for my husband, and then for my 3 baby boys, we got a green one because this is Hunter's favorite color, a blue one, Cole's favorite color, and then kind of like a turquoise right there in the middle for the baby. But these are, I mean, I love the colors. I love wearing colors myself, but I know that I wear my clothes, and by that I mean like I don't have nice. I can't keep nice clothes. I need to take that off before I start sweating. I can't keep nice clothes because everything that I buy, I work in. I don't like think twice and be like, oh, I should go change my clothes so I don't get dirty. I always forget to wear my apron. So when I'm cooking, I get dirty. Like, so I went, yes, the hats are knitted. Yes, I had the right terminology. These are so awesome and they're warm just in like the 3 minutes that I was wearing it. Super, super warm. So excited to have these. Where'd the other one go? There it is. So 5 knitted hats. And she didn't stop there, which is just going way above and beyond. She gave us a whole bag of dum-dums. The boys absolutely love these. So my 3-year-old Cole loves suckers, and I called it a sucker, and so he would like suck on that thing, and I was afraid it was going. And we've had these dum-dums and other brands of suckers too actually come off of the stick. So I was like, baby, it's a sucker, but you don't have to like suck the life out of it. So I told him to lick it, and he just sticks out his tongue and like licks it a million times. Do you guys remember the Tootsie Pop commercials with the owl? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? That's what I think of every time I see my son eating a sucker, because now he licks it all the way. So he is going to love these. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And she sent me also some awesome potato flakes. So that was so generous of her. Such a generous, wonderful woman. I was so happy to get that delivery, you guys. So if you guys aren't familiar with Rebecca, definitely go check her out. Let me see. I can go here. Let me. Here we go. Ooh, Rebecca, you're at 433 subs. You're getting close to the 500 mark. That's so exciting. I'm going to post Rebecca's link because I don't think any of my mods are in here right now. Jamie, I should just really make you a mod. There we go. So that's Rebecca. Please go check her out and sub to her. She's wonderful, a wonderful supporter. No, I'm on the wrong screen. That's why I can't click on it. Yes, love the hats. Absolutely love the hats. She is amazing. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Jamie. She is great. Those suckers, yeah. Let me actually go here and go here and Ta-da. Okay. I think I made you a mod, Jamie. All right. And so my second mail call. I'm sure you will get there in no time, Rebecca. You have such a strong following already. And this woman had 100 subs before she even had a video. I mean, that's how good of a supporter she is. So my second mail call was from Homestead Aquarius. Robert at Homestead Aquarius was generous enough to gift me his peach seeds. So these are peaches. These are the pits of peaches from his grandparents' trees in Tennessee. Robert is in Georgia. But his grandparents apparently were in Tennessee, and that's where these supposedly came from. So I'm super excited. So generous of him. Look at how many are in here. And then he said he's also, I just saw that he sent out another reverse mail call, he calls it. It's so cute. Like warning people, hey, I'm sending this to you. So this is, that's a lot. But he said in his reverse mail call telling me that I was getting these, he said he was going to do a video on how to propagate these without cold stratifying them. I don't know how he's going to do that. I think I also saw that Teresa over at Old Ways Gardening and Prepping, she did not cold stratify her peach seeds either. You know, she got them out of the pit like I had discussed I had done before. She got the seeds out of the pit and she did the whole paper towel thing and she just put it out in the sun, or like it was in her house to be warm, but with sun exposure. And apparently she says that that was, you know, enough. She didn't cold stratify them. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I got enough here. I could maybe try that, but I can't wait to crack into these. I am going to try soaking them, as you guys were suggesting to me. I had soaked some and I had meant to go back and break them open right after I soaked them, and then, you know, things got crazy. Hey, David, is this the David that I got paired with the seed swap? So nice of you to come in. But speaking of those other seeds, I was going to show you guys what those looked like, but I forgot to grab them and I'm not going to leave the computer now, but they're doing awesome. I still have the 3 Bartlett trees that sprouted. Awesome. Well, very nice of you to stop by. That's so cool. David and I got paired up in Teresa's seed swap. If you guys didn't see that she was doing that. I totally blanked on her live where she paired everybody up. And then he sent me a nice email being like, hey, we got matched up. And I was like, oh, dang, I forgot. I didn't forget about the seed swap, but I forgot about going to that live for the matching up. I don't even remember. I know she wanted us to have it done, I think, by the end of March, if I'm not mistaken. But I've just been busy. Robert is great. Ooh, grapevines. I got some grapevines too. You guys, I got actually almost all of my food forest planted. I'm so excited. And I know it's early, but like when you order them, I ordered them bare root. They won't ship them to you until they, feel like your climate is prepared for their planting. And next week I'm supposed to be like in the 30s. So I'm a little concerned, but I went with Stark Brothers. I did 2 orders from Stark. And 1 order from Tai Nursery in Georgia. I had never heard of Tai Nursery, and then I was watching the Hollers, and he got a bunch of nut trees that he was told about this Tai place by one of his friends. And he's like, if you guys are looking for nuts, this is the place to go. And you guys, I was having trouble finding nuts anywhere. Welcome in, LP. Thank you so much for coming in. I could only find in the nursery by me, they only had pecan trees, and they were only like gigantic pecan trees. And to buy 1, it was $95. And you need 2 to cross-pollinate. Pecans you need to cross-pollinate. So I'm like, I'm not buying 2 trees for, $275. I think my Tai order was like $300. And Tai gives you a range from 1 to 2 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet, all the way up to 10 feet. And obviously the price goes up the larger the tree you get. But I thought that was nice, giving you, the flexibility maybe in your budget, or, if you have a little bit more time to wait, maybe you get a smaller one. Or if you're really anxious to, I don't know, get your nuts growing or something like that, then I guess you go and spend big money on an older tree. I don't know. But I thought it was nice that they offered such a wide range. 1 big mulberry tree. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Propagate more. Yeah, absolutely. You could sell those or gift them or whatever, or just spread them all out on your property and just keep going with it. I mean, soon you could turn that into an income stream with that. If you end up growing so many mulberries that you don't know what to do with, you could sell mulberries, or you could sell the starts. People would pay big money for that. Pecan trees. I thought so. I bought some Georgia pecans from our local fruit stand, and I was thinking about trying to sprout some pecans myself. And I still have them. I can still do that. I just don't know that I have any more. I have to there's so many things on my to-do list this year. That I don't know if I'm actually going to get to sprouting the pecans that I have. So I did think about that, and I looked into it, and of course everyone's like, no, you can't sprout store-bought pecans or pecans that someone gives you, because they all have to be grafted. They always say that, but I mean, I'm doing it with the pears. I'm doing it with the apples. You never know. They would be something definitely to contend with, Dan. So I got my big Stark order. I still have another smaller Stark order that was just like a handful of things that were kind of like a second thought. And I also, in that order, got, those things that you put around the base of a tree to keep rodents like chipmunks and squirrels and rabbits from gnawing on the young bark. So I wanted to get those things, and Stark sold those. So I added that to my second Stark order. And so I haven't gotten my second Stark order yet, but I got my one main Stark order. And then I got my Tai nursery order, and I got them within like 2 days of each other. Actually, I got the Stark order last Thursday when I was supposed to be doing my live, and I just wasn't feeling up to it. And I got them, and I was like, oh man, I got to plant those really soon, and I don't feel good. And then my Tai came like 2 days later. But I got them all planted this weekend. And then I put up a really pseudo fence around them. I don't know if you guys can hear, the baby is not napping at all. He's screaming behind me. Oh my goodness. So my green onions, I've had a couple of my seeds sprouted. Definitely my, what are they? Short day onions. So like those little Pompeii onions that I said were like pearl onions, a lot of those sprouted. And then the Texas grano, I think a couple of those sprouted. Those were both my short day onions. And then I think a couple of my bunching onions started to come up, but in the grand scheme of my onion starts, not a whole lot has come up other than almost all the Pompeii onions came up. And then the Texas granos started to come up, but not a whole lot else had popped up. I meant to get in there because they're in my tiny house and I don't go in there every day. I meant to take a look today before this, but I got just a little busy and I didn't get a chance to go look at it. But so far, it was just my short day onions. So it's not just you, Destiny. Don't give up. Yeah. Oh, a big snowstorm tomorrow. Yeah, that's what Danielle was saying. It was snowing by her. Oh, that's awesome. I started my peas indoor last year and they did really well. They transplanted really well. I have not planted any peas yet because I don't really know where I want to put it. And we really like snow peas and snap peas and things like that. And I don't have any trellises set up yet. Oh, well, hello, Joy Stewart. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy. There's a lot of really great people here. So yeah, so I didn't start any peas yet because because all my trees came in, I have not done anything on my garden. I think I showed you guys a short of me putting that pool tarp out, and that's all I've done. And I quickly realized that tarp alone is not going to do any good at all. So, I mean, it's starting to kill the grass a little bit, but I need to like put down cardboard and put down wood chips and put down soil to really kill off that grass. The pool tarp alone is not going to do it. So what I was thinking I was going to do is take back the pool cover, put down the cardboard that I have tons of, and then put a bunch of wood chips down. But I cannot get wood chips up here to save my life. And I'm like, what if I pay you? What if I come to you and pick up, like, can you fill the bed of my truck with wood chips? Like, no one wants to give me freaking wood chips. They're like, the reason why you're having a hard time is because you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, I realize that. I know why I'm having a hard time, but what if I just come to you then? And then they don't answer. And I'm like, so I can't put wood chips down. So now I've called so many different places. I called my electrical company. I'm like, hey, who maintains the power lines around here? Because I'm up on the Cumberland Plateau and I'm at like 1,600 feet above sea level. I'm up on a ridge, and the winds come through here like crazy. Also last week when I was supposed to be doing my live, we were on a tornado watch, and the winds, I thought our pool cover was going to get ripped off. Like, the winds were insane. People's trees got totally uprooted. It was a mess. We ended up not getting a tornado, thank God. But I know that a bunch of trees went down, and I know that whoever comes and clears that, I'm like, where did all the wood go? So I called the company that maintains the lines, and they're like, we'll put you on the list and we'll let you know if we're in the area. And I'm like, I know someone was in this area because they cleaned up all the stuff. Where did it go? Stop holding all the wood chips hostage. I need some. So now we're just, Mike found on Facebook Marketplace a wood chipper, and we have ample down trees in our own woods that we could chip ourselves. So I think that's just what we're going to have to do, but it's not going to be in a timely manner. So I didn't put down the cardboard because then it would have been blown away. I don't have enough. I need something to put down on top of it. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern with that. And then when I got the trees, my focus went to that, and I had to get the trees in the ground and then put the fence up around that. So needless to say, nothing has happened with my garden since I posted that short. Yeah, and I know that the cardboard will work, but the wind, I can't battle with the wind up here. I could battle, but I would lose every single time. It is insane. So and then I found a company that's like, okay, well, we can bring you mushroom compost, and we can bring you wood chips, and we can bring you topsoil and all the things you need for your garden. But it's $100 a cubic foot. And I'm like, I can't afford the amount that I would need to fill my 2,400 square foot garden. I'm not spending that much money. I can't. Well, hello, Chakota Carver. Did I say that correctly? Used to live north of Crossville. Oh, awesome. I'm in Grandview. So not that far away. Is that what you grow in boxes? Is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah. You were responding to Dan. Yeah. You just grow them in cardboard boxes? Don't they like break down? I do love using cardboard boxes, but I use them to cover the ground. I don't grow in them. And then they have those seed trays that are made out of that cardboard, recycled medium that kind of, is supposed to deteriorate in the ground. I'm sure that's kind of like the same concept. But oh, this is water from my Brita, you guys, or not Brita, my Berkey. I don't know if you guys can see, and it's better now. But originally, our water was coming out cloudy. And so I looked up on the Berkey website, and apparently a lot of people have had that problem. And they reached out to Berkey, and Berkey told them to prime it again. And some people said that they primed it and primed it and primed it and primed it, and that they felt like they had to like wasted all that filtration. Because Berkey filters will last you like 5 years. But they felt like it was a waste of time, a waste of filtration, a waste of money to try to prime it. Sometimes it went away, sometimes it didn't. Berkey sent them new filters, and it still happened. There's not a clear reason as to why it's happening. It seems like with some people it went away, with some people it didn't. They say that sometimes it's the region where your water is coming from, that you just have like a higher mineral content in your water. But it's not nearly as cloudy as it was. And there was like a little bit of like a film in the bottom. So we would drain it all the way, wash it out. The consensus was that it was safe to drink after reading all the things and Berkey's explanations of things and stuff like that. But it was still disheartening, like the reason that I got it was to have clean water, and then it comes out, I put it in clear and it comes out cloudy, and then I can see the sediment in the bottom. It was kind of not cool. I wasn't very happy with it. But it is clearing up, so I'm happy about that. Yes, exactly, Dan. I wanted to make some tea before this, but I ran out of time, but that's okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's deep. When my husband's family is from Wisconsin, and oh man, Jamie, yours is really deep. That's awesome. Did you have to dig that? Because I think don't they charge you like by the foot or something like that? How deep you go, it costs more. And his uncle I think he's retired now, but used to dig wells. And he's like, you're never going to have a well in Tennessee. He's like, there's too much rock. There's too much this. There's too much that. You're not going to have a well. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I don't have a well, but he was very adamant about it. Hey, Devin, thank you so much for coming in. And we do have rock. When I was putting in the trees up on the hill, there's 2 big boulders that are like, instead of grass, it's like the top of a rock. And I was like, right where I wanted to put the trees. And I'm like, I don't know how big this boulder is. I'm just going to start digging and hope that doesn't reach this far over. I got a lot of rocks that are like this big, but they were easy to dig up and move to plant the trees. I will do a video once I get it all done. I planted 17 trees, I think. 17 trees and 9 shrubs, something along those lines. And it was exhausting, and luckily we had wonderful weather. It was beautiful. It was sunny. It was 70 degrees. But being outside all day, and I swear 70 degrees from what I was used to in Chicago is nothing like 70 degrees up here. Even so, my dad lives off the plateau. He lives like at sea level. And we have a 5-degree difference, and he's only 5 miles away from me. But the sun is so intense, and we have like no trees close to the house. And that sun is hot. Hot, hot, hot. I was exhausted. And you got to dig. They say, dig a $5 hole for dig a $50 hole for a $5 tree, right? Your tree's only this big, but you got to dig a hole this big to put in your tree. And so we, thank God my husband was able to help me, and we were exhausted. And then at one point we had the 2 older boys out with us while the baby was napping. And then lunchtime came, and then we decided that we would take shifts, and that one of us would stay inside with the kids and the other one would go out. And so Mike took over digging the holes, and then I would go out and I would plant the trees. And so the first couple of trees had really big holes, and then the last couple of trees didn't have such a big hole. Just because you get so tired working out in the sun for so long. That's so nice. Oh. So then does that mean that you put up everything else? There was just the shell of a garage and a trailer, and then anything else you did? So the guineas are actually calmed down. And I don't know if it's just because our chickens are getting bigger. Our buffs were very underweight. They were by far our smallest chicken out there. And they're supposed to be like a 6 to 7 pound bird. Like, they're supposed to be a pretty big bird. And they were our smallest ones. They were getting picked on like crazy. The one was getting all of her tail feathers ripped out and things like that. And now they have both. And we were like, they're never going to lay. They're never going to let us touch them, because they were super skittish. They were super timid because they were being picked on so much. They finally like put on weight. They don't look like the runts anymore. They've both started to lay. Everyone's laying except for our red stars, which is kind of an oxymoron to us, because the red stars are supposed to be the like egg producers. And we had in the past, we did other sex links. What were they? Isobrowns and golden comets. We did those when we were still in Chicago. And those both started laying at like 16 or 18 weeks. And they did what they were supposed to do. They laid every single day. From the day that they started laying, they laid every single day. But they started at like 16 to 18 weeks. These red stars, the Murray McMurray catalog says that they don't start laying until 22 weeks. And I think maybe this next week they'll be 22 weeks, or they're right around 22 weeks right now, but they're the only ones that aren't laying yet. The first ones to lay were the Wells Summers, and they are actually our smallest bird. They seem to be getting picked on more than the buffs are now, because now they are the smallest bird. But all in all, the guineas have calmed down a little bit more. And our big girls started laying again. We're getting a lot of eggs, which I'm super excited about. The guineas are also fighting amongst themselves more. They chase each other a lot more. They kind of have spread their picking on amongst everybody now. They don't just focus on the little girls anymore. but we do want them to free range. So Mike started building another coop for them. And then we got all these storms, and he had the coop built, but he didn't have a run built for them. And there's 7 of them. So we couldn't just lock them in and guineas are stupid. You can't just like lock them in for a day and then let them out. And then like a chicken, you do that and the chicken will figure out, usually in like a day or 2, chickens will figure out this is my home. A guinea, you got to lock up for like 2 weeks because they're so dumb. So we couldn't just lock them up in this 4x6 coop, 7 of them for 2 weeks. They would have killed each other. So we left them in with the other flock, and Mike still hasn't been able to create the run for them. So they've just been in with everybody else. They've also been exiting the electric fence as a flock of all 7 of those guineas. They escape together and they kind of peruse the front yard a little bit, and they will venture out a little bit together, and then a shadow. They'll see a leaf and they freak out and they run back to the fence. They're such panicked birds. It's ridiculous. But they, for the most part, seem much more relaxed. So we're at least getting eggs. No one's really being picked on. The thinking is that we're still going to separate the guineas because we want them to associate the new coop with their home, and we want them to free range. But I think if we keep them with the big flock in the front yard, they're never really going to free range. And Mike's like, let's just free range the whole flock. And I'm like, no. I love my chickens too much. They'll get picked off. We have a family of hawks, red-tailed hawks, aka chicken hawk, living above our pond. They have a nest. They don't mess with our birds. They've never messed with our birds. We have Olga, our black Australorp, and we have Coco, our black copper Moran. And I had heard that buying blackbirds makes hawks think that your birds are crows instead of chickens, and crows and hawks are natural enemies, and so then they won't mess with your flock. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but also we have a flock of crows. There's like 5-ish crows that like to hang around this area, and they love eating the bugs in my yard. And I'm like, rock on, crows, like be here all you want, because I got the crows on, that are hanging around my front yard. And then I got my black chickens, and these hawks don't come anywhere near our house. They don't come anywhere near our chickens. And I'm hoping it stays that way. But if we free range, we also have loose dogs, all the things. So I'm like, no, I'm not free ranging all of my chickens and having them all picked off. So I think we do have to take the guineas away from the main flock, because otherwise they're never going to free range. And that's why we got them, was to free range and to keep down our tick population. But they are cowards. They don't venture very far. Yes, it was a lot of trees. A lot of trees to plant. It was exhausting, but I'm so happy I did it. And I'm hoping that everything will be okay in the coming cold spell that we have. It's only supposed to be really cold for like 2 days. So I'm hoping that's not too bad. Oh, awesome, Jamie. That's wonderful. Yeah. Oh, okay. I've never had any, so I don't know. I've heard of them, but I've never had them, so I wouldn't know anything about them. 4 out of 5 hens that's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to it or not. If you read like the backyard chicken Facebook groups and stuff like that, they're like, bull, that doesn't work. Didn't work for my flock. You know, everyone's got an opinion, and whether it works or whether it doesn't, it's not doing any harm to me by having a black chicken. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I still got a black chicken. Hey, what's up, Robin? Thanks so much for coming in. Glad to see you here. So yeah, that's what's happening with the birds. I think I did not get out yesterday to get eggs because I went in, and Esmeralda is probably my she's my oldest chicken. She was my first chicken. Her and her sister Gretchen. We started our whole chicken operation with 2 bards from not Tractor Supply, Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We got 2 bards, and Esmeralda was Mike's and Gretchen was mine. And then Gretchen ended up getting heat stroke. She was a little over a year old. She was like a year and a half old, and she got heat stroke and died. And Esmeralda was heartbroken. So Esmeralda is our OG girl. But when she is sitting on eggs, she will peck you to death. She is super sweet, but if she is broody, and she wasn't broody, but still she doesn't like being messed with if she's on top of eggs. So I didn't collect the eggs yesterday when I went out, and I didn't make it back out again yesterday. Today I went out early this morning because I knew I had a clutch of eggs in there from yesterday. And then if any had laid already that day, and I came in with 8 this morning, and then I went back out at noon and I collected another 5. So between the 2 days, I got 13 eggs. So I was pretty happy with that. Do you really? I mean, I just think that all birds are, I don't think birds get a fair shake a lot of the time. Like they are very entertaining, and they're at least entertaining to somebody. The other thing going on with our chickens is our roosters. Ooh, I have wanted to drop kick them. I'll have to pick and choose my words. I have some choice words for my roosters every once in a while. Both are crowing. It was really funny when they were learning how to crow because they sounded really pathetic. Rick has been crowing for a long time, but Hollywood started crowing too. And I think he's got the full drawn out crow now. And they'd never been aggressive. And I had picked them up. I'd made a point to go pick them up because I didn't want them to be aggressive. And we were getting so wet for we were raining like crazy. So I was wearing my boots every single day that I went into the chicken yard. And, you know, my boots come up to like mid-calf. So I would get pecked every once in a while, and the boots would protect me. And it wasn't like an aggression thing or anything like that. But one's a jerk and the other one's awesome. It was more of just like an checking things out that I would get pecked, but it was still wearing the high boots was kind of like also protection to me, right? Yeah. So then we were like dry for a while, and I wore my gym shoes into, or no, I had taken Cole, my middle son, he's 3. I had taken him into the coop or into the chicken yard with me a couple of times. And I always told him, watch out for the roosters because they're not nice. But they were not aggressive. They were just always like standoffish. They would come around, but if you like reach for them, they would back up. I never liked that they would they would go around my back. And I'm like, I don't like that you're behind me. That's a really uncomfortable feeling. But they never aggressed me. And then I brought Cole in with me, and he had his boots on, and his were like green dinosaur boots, and the back of it had like these yellow, like a dinosaur spine, like the spikes on the back. And I don't think Hollywood liked his boots. And he came up behind him and he pecked him, but he didn't peck him hard, but I saw it out of the corner of my eye. And Cole went, hey. And then he came back and he hit him hard enough that I heard the hit. And, Cole, of course, screamed because he wasn't getting him in the boot. He was getting him right in the calf, like right above the boot. And so, of course, I picked up Cole and got him out of the chicken yard and then dealt with Hollywood. I flipped him upside down and then carried him around with me and things like that. And he didn't break Cole's skin, but he definitely hurt him. He got a little bruise on the back of his calf, and now he's like, rooster pecked me. And so he's a little bit more timid now, but I was like, well, sometimes, things happen, and, doesn't Kona, our dog Kona, I was like, doesn't Kona hurt you sometimes, even though she doesn't mean it? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, sometimes that happens, but we got to get back in it. I haven't brought him back in yet because he's gotten continually more aggressive. And then I went in the other day. I was just running in real quick, and I was wearing pajama pants and gym shoes. And I don't know if it was my shoes, because my shoes are orange. My gym shoes are orange. And then my pajama pants just had like blue pants with these white spots on it. And I was walking into the coop to check on eggs real quick, and he got me in the back of the leg, and it wasn't hard. And I was like, is he just trying to check out my pants? Like, or what was that all about? Or did he mean to do that? But he stopped right there. Then I went in again wearing gym shoes and jeans. And he went after my gym shoes again. They don't have spurs yet, so they're not using their feet. But he keeps continually going after my feet or my ankle area. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm wearing jeans. It didn't have a pattern on it. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. So he has done it a couple times. And then I caught him the other day getting ready to charge me. Like, he got up all puffed up, and he waits until I turn my back, that little sucker. He waited until I turned my back, and I saw it out of the corner of my puffed up and like put his head down like he was going to come at me. And I turned on him, and he was like, whoop, nope, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I picked him up real quick and flipped him upside down. I saw on, I think it was Facebook, I don't have a TikTok account, but you know how people can link their TikTok accounts. I think it was a TikTok video of a guy that took his rooster and he puts him upside down. He calls it the rocking method, and rocks them back and forth upside down, and then puts them on their back to like make them submit. And I tried doing that, and I've done that twice. And so I'm like, maybe he doesn't like my shoes. I don't know. And it's only Hollywood that's doing it. And he was initially the more aggressive one, but then he totally backed off. And then Rick became like cock of the block, and he is twice the size of Hollywood. He mates the girls 10 times more than Hollywood does. And I understand where the term cock block came from, because that is Rick. If Hollywood tries to mate one of the girls, he like bum rushes them and like knocks Hollywood off. It is ridiculous. I'm like, dude, but he's never come after any of us. What he does do is our nest box is very low to the ground, obviously, so that the girls can jump in and out. And then the roost bar is like kind of right above where the nest box is. So he gets up on the roost bar while I'm bending down to get the eggs underneath. And so he's like right at my face. So I'm like, oh my God, he's going to totally peck the back of my head. Or like when he's bigger, he's going to like whack me or something in the back of the head. I'm like, I don't like you being up there. I can actually pick up both of them, and they come up to me. What Rick will do is, I call him his fancy feet, and I don't know if it's an aggression thing or a courting thing, because he does it around me and he does it around the hens, but I've also seen him do it around Hollywood. I don't know what he's doing, but he gets these like fast feet. And I'm like, is this an aggression dance? Is this a courting dance? I don't know what this is, but he does that. So he's done that to me. And then as I have had to flip Hollywood multiple times, Hollywood, of course, screams out when I grab him. He's got a nice big ballooning tail, so it's really easy for me just to grab him by the tail. And then I can, once I have him upside down by the tail, then I can grab his feet. But of course he screams out like a banshee. And so Rick always comes running over, and I don't know if he is running over to aggress me or to aggress Hollywood. I'm not really sure, but he's never attacked it. Rick's never attacked anybody, never pecked anybody, but he is way bigger, looks way meaner, and his legs are like freaking tree trunks. I can't get over how thick of a boy he is. He puts Hollywood to shame, really. But I picked him up the other day too, because he does like domineering things around me. Like he always crows at me. And if you like read up on it, they say if your rooster is crowing when they see you, it's like he punishes the girls for coming up and loving me. And like my older girls really love me. And like they come running to me. They want my attention. They want my love. The red stars are super affectionate. The Welsumers are not very nice. And until recently, the buffs wouldn't come anywhere near us. But all of the girls, and now the guineas too, the guineas, they don't want to be touched, but they will run to me because they know that I bring food. So I'll like bend down and I'll give everybody love and talk to everybody and pet them and stuff like that. And I think that he knows that I favor, my original 6, because they favor me. Like they seek me out. They rub up against me. Like Esmeralda will peck me until I pick her up because she wants love. But the second I put them down, or if I stop petting them, Rick will then take that hen and dominate her and mate her. And I'm like, are you punishing her? Like, are you do you see me as a fellow rooster because you crow at me and then you mate the girls in front of me like this is my girl, not your girl? I don't know if he really understands what I am. I know that he knows that I bring him food. And he doesn't actually attack me or peck me or anything like that. He lets me pick him up. He doesn't really like it. He grumbles about it. And then he does the shuffly feet thing and he still crows at me. So I don't know if he thinks that I'm another rooster. I don't know if he's afraid of me. I don't know if he wants to fight me. I don't know. But that's what's going on with the roosters. Oh my God, the back of your neck and shoulders at pre-K. That's a really scary attack. Like, and a lot of people say, like, yeah, when I was younger, I was attacked by a rooster. And I don't want that to be my kids. But I also want them to get used to the roosters. I want the roosters to get used to them. And I want them to be confident around the roosters. I don't want them to have bad experiences. And if they get pecked, like, I want them to know that they're, I want the boys to understand why they're being pecked, and understand what they have to do in order to assert themselves over these roosters. Like, I don't want my kids to be scarred. And that's another thing too. I'm like, if we free range these chickens, that means we're never going to be safe in our yard. Like, we're going to get charged by these roosters all the time. The red roosters, the Rhode Island Reds. Is that what you're talking about? The Rhode Island Reds? Yeah, isn't that funny? My smallest chicken is my black copper Moran Coco. She's a 4-pound chicken, like soaking wet. She's 4 pounds. But I have seen her go fisticuffs with the biggest guinea out there. And she does not take no gruff. She was the last one to get mated. She was not afraid of the guineas. Like, when I would go out to give them treats and things like that, I would usually throw like some over here and like the guineas would go over there and eat, and I would like distract them. And then I'd like make another pile for the big girls and then another pile for all the little girls that were all timid. So that everyone kind of had a chance to get the treat. And for the most part, the guineas were so ravenous and so dominant that no one would dare go anywhere near their food. Now, Rick was like best friends with these guineas. He, I think, identified with the guineas, and that was like his flock. So the roosters could eat with the guineas, but nobody else could. Until one day, Coco decided, oh no, I want some of that too. And she comes over and she starts eating, and one of them tries to bully her out. And that little girl went kung fu fighting crazy. And she was screaming and swatting. And she beat that guinea up so bad. And I don't know if you guys remember on one of my videos, Coco was one of the ones that fought with the roosters through the fences when I still had them separated. She was the one that was picking on, starting the fight. And she made, I don't remember I think it was Rick. She got Rick in his beard and made him bleed. Like, that girl does not mess around. And I'm like, you got little bird syndrome. But it's just so funny. I've seen her fight off both of the roosters, and they're both big, but especially Rick. He's big, and she'll pull with all of her might, because what they do is they like grab them at like the scruff of their neck and the feathers and like try to pull them down. And she's like, and she's pulling away from them. She is so funny. But she is a mighty little girl. So size really has nothing to do with it. I am convinced. Yeah, with the Rhode Island Rhode Island Reds. Yeah, we had heard that the Rhode Island Reds, because they're such a good dual purpose bird, we thought about raising Rhode Island Reds. And I told you guys I was getting more chicks that are coming in April, actually. And I haven't told you what the breeds were that we're getting. I think I'm going to keep that a secret still. But we thought about Rhode Island Reds because they're such a good dual purpose. They're such good egg layers, blah, blah, blah. But we read so much about the roosters and we're like, we don't want mean roosters. And these roosters, they're not mean and they're still juvenile. I think it has something to do with my gym shoes because today I went in with my boots on again, just as an experiment. And Hollywood didn't come anywhere near me. Like, I don't think he likes my orange gym shoes. And I think it's my confidence level. Like I was like, I'm not going to not wear my gym shoes. Like he needs to get over it. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking he doesn't like my gym shoes. He's going to attack me. Anytime he came close to me, I kind of backed off. And so like, I think he could maybe kind of read me as well. And I'm like, I don't want to back up because that shows that I'm scared of him. And I'm not scared of him, but it's just like a knee-jerk reaction when someone's coming at you or something's coming at you that you know is going to peck you, you back up. But I went in today with my boots on and no one messed with me. I felt more comfortable and I'm like, maybe I'll just stick to the boots for now. And so what kind of a bird is Vern? Is Vern a black copper Moran? Sorry, suspense. Yeah. Yeah. I have so many videos that I need to like do. I can't. So many things going on. Oh, he's a lavender Orpington. Yeah, I bet that's a big boy. I mean, Orpingtons are supposed to be big birds. That's why when our buffs were so small, we're like, they must be malnourished. They're so small. They were smaller than my Moran. And I'm like, she's 4 pounds. Like these birds got to start putting on some weight because they're supposed to be twice her size. Oh. Well, that stinks. Oh, yes. At least he's just pecking you. I think Orpingtons are supposed to be really nice, though. All right. Well, it's already 3:20. I need to go get ready to go pick up my son from the bus. I've been just gabbing too much and apparently lost track of time. Oh, well, that's awesome. Yeah, and see, like, I don't, because Rick I don't know what he's doing. When I am disciplining Hollywood and Rick comes at us, part of me thinks that he's coming at Hollywood to be like, dude, what are you doing? You're getting out of line. And I don't think he's trying to attack me for dominating Hollywood, but what do I know? What do I know? But yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it, right? But I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Can you guys believe it? Hunter is on spring break next week already. I don't think I'm going live next week. Mike's family is coming in town next week. We have a busy week planned, lots going on. I can't believe it's already spring break. I can't believe school's going to be out in 2 months. It's nuts. So I don't think I'll see you guys next week. I'll try to get some videos out, though, of updates of things. I still haven't showed you guys my seeds. I haven't started any of my tomato seeds yet. I don't know when I'll have time to do that, but things are busy. Yep, spring break already, Jamie. I can't even. But so I will see you guys later. I don't know when I'll have another one planned, but I hope to see you then. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.